Talk to me a little about how this year has been.
It's not necessarily been fun. I think it's been challenging.
Probably the most challenging in my long life. It's been challenging.
It's been very stressful and very hectic.
An emotional time for our staff, for our families, for our patients.
2020 has brought about some of our hardest moments. It's been a roller coaster.
We had just gotten through, our cyber attack and thought maybe this was just going to be some sort of normalcy, and then this.
2020, I remember snickering at the beginning of March, thinking that this COVID could never be equal to the death and the intensity of influenza.
Then it turned into just a little bit of depression that we're not as safe as what we thought we were.
So far, 2020 and COVID is all I know as a nurse. Every time I've ever come to work here in this hospital, I've put a mask on at the door.
There was a time where I was reading literally hours every day about COVID, about the disease, about the treatment.
And what you think you know one day turns out to be something else the next day.
Things were changing, not just multiple times a week, but sometimes multiple times a day. There are a lot of dimensions of fear. One of those for me was that I wasn't able to work. Are you going to be able to, pay your bills and do all of that kind of stuff? We had to make decisions about who was essential, who had an essential job. Well, every job in the hospital is essential. We don't have any fluff.
And fielding the phone calls from our employees asking me, so you're going to tell me I can't work for 2 weeks, how am I going to pay my bills? The lack of PPE, that has always been a worry of mine. I lose sleep about it at night.
There's been a lot of death this year. People that have died far before their time. Our beloved Dr. Lamberty. We grieved. Our family grieved. Our community grieved. And it was hard.
We got a call, Brenda, we've got somebody not doing well. In fact, it turned out to be 4 somebodies that day not doing well. And we lost 2 of them. That was a dark moment. One was helping the family say goodbye on an iPad to their loved one. And those, I think, have been the most gut-wrenching times for any of us. I said, but I will not leave your loved one alone. And I was with her when she died. And I held her hand. And that night I went home and cried.
One of the really hard things about our job as NICU nurses is we are required to respond to code whites, which is a code blue for an infant. During COVID, you can't turn around and fall into your coworker's arms and cry, even though what you truly need is human connection in that moment. One of the hardest moments, not only this year, but probably ever in my life.
And to just walk through that grief in the middle of so much unknown, it was hard. And it's hard to grieve with families and then still try to be distant and follow the rules.
I miss touching patients, holding their hand when they die. I miss giving people hugs. I miss really sitting in that room and being a real person and getting to know the patient and the family. To me, that has been extremely difficult.
You don't realize how much you miss that until you have absolutely none of it in your life. It made me realize I need people more than I really thought that I needed people. 2020 has brought about some of our hardest moments. Moments of trust, moments of fear, moments of what if.
I think that maybe this is what we were all called to do.
Challenges are where you learn. You either let them take you down and crumble you, or you rise to the challenge and become a warrior.
And maybe it was because of this COVID epidemic that we're all here and we're all doing what we're doing. We have done an incredible service. We've given some very good medicine during this time, and I'm really proud of what we've done.
And yes, there's been dark times, and yes, there's been hard times, and yes, there's been obstacles we would never have imagined. But we trust each other. As a team, as a family, we do it together.
I don't think I would have been able to make it without our team.
It was just amazing to watch this organization turn on a dime. And we did it again and again and again.
I'm not going to let it destroy me. We will prevail. Show up every day to do the best job you can, be endurant, and we'll get through it.
You are in the position where you can make a difference. That's exciting to me.
I am proud to be here. I'm proud to be a nurse. I'm proud to go in every day and be the one that can be there and be helping.
One of the great things about 2020 is people show up. They're still coming. They're still walking through those doors every day, even when they don't have to.
We're doing some great work, and I'm extremely proud of the people that I work with. Doctors, nurses, EVS, dietary administration, pharmacy, the churches, our community, the restaurants, the grocery stores, our critical access hospitals. We've all done it together.
That has been, I think, a strength of us. That no matter how dark the times have gotten, we've been there for that patient, we've been there for that family, we've been there for each other as staff. And we will not quit.